Okay, so get this right. We are diving into a world where algorithms can write chart-topping hits and where your workout playlist changes based on, like, your heartbeat.
Wow.
So yeah, today we're doing a deep dive.
Okay.
All about how AI is changing the music industry.
Yeah.
And for this one,
Right.
you've given me an interview with a music producer.
Okay.
Who's actually, like, in the thick of it all.
Yeah, and it seems like this isn't just, robots taking over for musicians or anything like that.
Right.
It's more complicated. Like, we're talking AI as a collaborator,
Yeah.
as a tool,
Right.
even like a talent scout.
I can already see the headlines. AI finds the next Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly.
But, okay, to understand where we're going with this,
Right.
you have to kind of see where we've been.
Of course, yeah.
And believe it or not, the idea of AI in music goes way back.
Oh, does it?
Like 1950s back.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So like early computers and stuff?
Yeah, so Alan Turing.
Right, the code breaker.
Yeah, the code-breaking genius. Also messed around with creating music on a computer back in 1951.
Okay.
He used this huge, like, room-sized machine
Wow.
to make melodies.
Really?
Pretty basic stuff, but still.
That's still.
It was like the first sign of what was to come.
I'm picturing like this giant computer spitting out a polka tune.
Right.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's amazing to think about how early, like, those seeds were planted. And then from there, things started evolving.
Yeah.
Like in the early 2000s,
Okay.
Sony made this program called Continuator.
Okay.
You could actually learn songs and then jam along with a musician
Wow.
in real time.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's like the great-grandparent of all the AI music software today?
Yeah, I guess you could say that
Wow.
that early experimentation really set the stage for all of the AI-powered platforms we're seeing now.
For sure.
And it's just crazy how much music is being created these days.
Yeah.
Like our music producer mentioned, Spotify gets something like 60,000 new tracks
Wow.
uploaded every single day.
Every day.
Yeah,
That's wild.
that's a new song every second and a half.
It's like trying to drink from a fire hose.
Right.
You can't keep up with that.
No way.
So that's why AI and machine learning are becoming so important.
Yeah.
It's not just about, making the music. It's about filtering it,
Yeah.
organizing it,
Right.
making sense of this giant, like, musical universe.
Yeah, totally.
That's crazy.
Now, the question that I think everyone's thinking is, can AI really be creative?
Yeah.
Like, can it actually compose good music?
Yeah.
Because I've heard some AI stuff that's like, well,
Right.
let's just say it needs some work.
It needs some work, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because AI can learn, right? It can look at tons of music,
Okay.
learn the patterns,
Yeah.
and then use that to make something new.
Okay.
It's called reinforcement learning.
So you're saying it's like teaching an AI the rules of music,
Right.
and then it can go and write its own symphony or something.
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
And there are already some examples of AI making really impressive music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in 2016,
Oh, okay.
IBM's Watson worked with this musician named Alex da Kid
Okay.
to make a song called Not Easy.
Okay.
And that song actually hit the Billboard Top 40.
Wait, so a computer co-wrote a hit song.
Yeah.
What did the producer in the interview say about that?
Well, what's interesting is Watson didn't just throw notes together randomly.
Right.
It looked at a ton of data,
Okay.
including social media trends
Wow.
to see what kind of music was popular at the time.
So it's like AI is tapping into the collective mood
Right.
and then turning that into music.
Exactly.
That's wild.
And according to our producer,
Yeah.
this ability for AI to analyze and understand cultural trends
Yeah.
is a total game changer.
Right.
It's not just about the notes.
It's about the emotional impact
Totally.
of a music.
It's like AI is becoming a musical anthropologist, figuring out what makes us tick and then making a song out of it.
Right. And this whole idea of AI being a collaborator
Yeah.
is a big theme in the interview.
Oh, really?
Our producer seems to be embracing AI as a partner in the studio,
Okay.
helping them find new sounds and ideas.
So it's not AI replacing humans.
Right.
It's AI empowering humans.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the producer also talked about using AI for something else super important.
Oh.
Music discovery.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
How many times have you been surprised by a song on your Spotify Discover Weekly playlist?
Oh, all the time.
That's AI, right?
Right.
Looking at what you listen to
Yeah.
and finding stuff you might never hear otherwise.
Okay, but is that a good thing?
Right.
Like, does it create these echo chambers where we only hear...
What the algorithm thinks we like.
Yeah.
Did the producer talk about that at all?
They did, and it was really interesting.
Okay.
They said there's always that risk
Yeah.
of algorithms making our tastes too narrow.
Right.
But AI can also help us break out of those echo chambers
Okay.
by connecting us to music from other cultures, different genres,
Yeah.
stuff we might not have thought of before.
So AI is like this, global musical ambassador.
Right.
Like that.
It's pretty cool.
And it seems like the producer is finding that balance
Yeah.
between using AI as this tool,
Mm-hmm.
but still keeping their own artistic vision.
Yeah, they seem excited about what's possible.
Mhm.
And it's not just individual producers either.
Oh, really?
Like big record labels are getting on board too.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So instead of having talent scouts go into clubs
Right.
to find the next big thing,
Right.
it's algorithms doing the searching now.
Kind of, yeah.
Wow.
So, like, Warner Music Group and Apple are using AI
Wow.
to analyze streaming data, social media buzz,
Right.
all sorts of things
Wow.
to find promising new artists.
So it's like AI is the ultimate A&R person
Right.
finding those diamonds in the rough.
Exactly.
But is that actually good for musicians?
yeah.
Does it mean they need to be more data savvy than musically talented?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And our producer had some thoughts on that.
Okay.
They said that, yeah, the music industry is definitely becoming more data-driven,
Right.
which can be scary for artists.
Yeah,
But they also said that AI can actually make things more fair,
Okay.
especially for independent artists who
Right.
might not have the money
Yeah.
to promote their music the traditional way.
So it's like AI is this democratizing force
Exactly.
helping talented musicians break through no matter their background or connections.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
And the producer even said that AI is giving musicians a whole new set of creative tools.
Yeah, totally.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is getting interesting.
Yeah.
I've got to dive into that. It sounds like AI is changing things for everyone, not just listeners, but musicians too.
Yeah.
What kind of tools did the producer mention?
Well, they talked about this platform called LanderR,
Okay.
which uses AI to master tracks.
Okay, and remind me,
Yeah.
what is mastering again?
So mastering is like the last step
Right.
in making a song.
Right.
You polish the sound, get the levels right,
Yeah.
make it ready for, the radio or whatever.
Right, right.
But traditionally, it's been a pretty expensive process.
Wow.
You need special engineers, studios,
Yeah.
all that.
So is Lander
Yeah.
having a world-class mastering engineer
Basically.
just at your fingertips?
Right, but powered by AI.
Wow. That's a game changer, especially for independent artists who don't have a ton of money.
Exactly. And that's just one example.
Really?
There are AI tools popping up for everything.
Right.
Like songwriting help,
Oh,
creating sound effects. It's becoming a part of, every part of music.
wow. It's like having a virtual studio
Right.
right there on your computer.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Okay, let's switch gears for a sec.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about AI making custom soundtracks?
Mhm.
What did the producers say about that?
Oh, they were super into that.
Okay.
They said there are these companies like AI Music, which Apple just bought.
Okay.
They're making these intelligent music libraries.
Intelligent music libraries.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
Okay, so picture this. A soundtrack that changes
Okay.
in real time based on what's happening.
Okay, give me an example.
So workout music that gets more intense as you
Right.
exercise harder,
Right.
or music in a video game that changes as you play.
So it's like a personalized soundtrack for your life.
Right, like a dynamic score.
That's wild.
And the producer actually gave some real examples.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
So some video game developers are using AI music
Okay.
to make these immersive soundtracks
Right.
that react to what the player's doing.
Okay.
And there are fitness apps using AI music
Yeah.
that changes with your heart rate.
Wow. So it's not just replacing composers.
No.
It's like making completely new musical experiences.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
And the producer also talked about this other platform
Okay.
called Amper Music
Okay.
that's pushing the boundaries of AI music even further.
Oh, really? How so?
It lets you create original music,
Mm.
like from scratch,
Wow. Okay.
just by setting a few things.
So if I want a happy, upbeat pop song
Right.
that's 2 minutes long,
Yeah.
Amper Music will just make it for me.
Pretty much.
Right.
You can
Okay.
choose the genre, the mood,
Okay.
instrumentation,
Yeah.
tempo, all kinds of stuff.
So it's like having your own AI composer.
Right.
That's insane. But does that make just anyone a musician then?
Yeah. That's a good question.
What did the producer think?
They said it definitely brings up some interesting questions about like creativity and who the real author is.
Right.
But they also said that these tools are making it easier than ever for people to create music.
Right.
Like even if you don't know how to play an instrument or you don't have the money for a studio, you can still use AI to make your ideas real.
It's like AI is making it easier to get into music.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So we've covered a lot here.
We have.
AI writing hits, discovering talent, giving musicians new tools, even creating soundtracks.
It's amazing.
It feels like AI is touching every part of the music industry.
It really does.
And it's all happening so fast.
Right?
A few years ago, this would have seemed like something out of a movie.
Totally.
So what's next?
Yeah.
What other music stuff is coming?
It's hard to say, but one thing's for sure.
What's that?
The future of music is going to be all about AI.
Yeah.
And the producer we talked about seemed pretty optimistic about it.
Me too. I think it's a pretty exciting time to be a music fan.
Yeah, definitely.
I think what's really neat about this whole thing is we're not just talking about the tech itself.
Right.
It's about how AI changes how we experience music.
For sure. And it brings up some really big questions.
Yeah.
Like the producer we've been talking about said something that really stuck with me.
Okay. What was that?
They said, we're getting to a point where anyone can make music.
Right.
But the hard part will be finding that human connection in a world that's full of AI-generated sounds.
That's a really deep thought.
It is.
So it's not just about the tools, right?
No.
It's about how we use them.
Exactly.
To like say something real, connect with people on a deeper level.
That's what it's all about.
And that's where the real magic of music is.
I think so.
It's that human element, that creativity, the ability to like make people feel things, tell stories with sound.
Exactly.
So in a way, AI is making us think about what it really means to be a musician. What makes human creativity special?
I agree. And it's not just musicians. It's also challenging us as listeners to be more, I don't know, picky, to actually look for music that we connect with.
Right. Not just take whatever the algorithm gives us.
Right. Exactly.
Like AI is raising the bar for everyone.
I think so.
Musicians, industry people, and listeners.
For sure.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this.
Okay.
As AI becomes a bigger part of music, what role do you want to play in all of this?
That's a great question.
What kind of music do you want to make?
Yeah.
What kind of music do you want to find?
Don't be afraid to try new things.
Right.
Challenge those algorithms.
Yeah.
Look for that human connection, even in this world of tech.
That's the perfect way to end this.
I think so, too.
This has been such an amazing journey.
It has.
And I'm honestly feeling kind of in awe and excited about the future of music.
Me too. It reminds you that even with all this AI stuff, it's still the human heart that makes music powerful.
That's so true.
It is.